It's a waiver wire Wednesday, and we're looking at these backup running backs on the waiver wire. We're looking at these running backs to stash, these running backs to pick up, these running backs that probably should have been rostered that are sitting there that we're looking at, and we're like, hey, maybe I should pick up that guy. Braelon Allen is that dude this week on the waiver wire. He is the running back we should most be excited about. Not Carson Strong, not Samaje Perine, because Braelon Allen is in a supreme situation as a handcuff. He's got talent, and he's already flashing as a rookie. He's only 20 years old, and we're going to deep dive him today. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're talking about the waiver wire every day. We're doing deep dives on the trending players on the waiver wire and the guys who are getting a change in their situation. We also help you set your lineups with these videos as well. Click that button, stop missing outs. But Breece Hall popped up on the injury report. Looks like he'll be okay. Looks like he'll be in the game, but we'll pay attention to him. But something to notice, Braelon Allen, though, on week 2, 19.6 PPR fantasy points, 7 rushing attempts, 33 rushing yards, and a touchdown. 4 targets, caught 2 balls, 23 yards, and a touchdown. So he was getting work. He was getting opportunities in both the run game and in the passing game, which, coming out of Wisconsin, was a knock on him during the draft process. And you look at him at Wisconsin in 2021 as a freshman at just 17 years old. And just pause right there and think about what you were doing at 17 back then. And he was rushing for 1,200 yards in the Big Ten, 12 touchdowns. 2022, another 1,200-yard season, 11 touchdowns. 2023, we get bit by an ankle injury. Slows us down. We try to play through it a little bit, and it gets caught up on tape. And a lot of people look at those games where he's working through the ankle injury, and they discounted him during draft season, and they did not go back to 2022 and 2021 and look at that tape. And now when they come to look at him now with the Jets or in preseason or in training camp, it just didn't add up to them. And then you also look at the numbers here. 3.66 yards after contact per attempt on his career. Over 2,000 yards after contact. Forced 145 missed tackles on his career. Leading all Power 5 running backs since 2021 with 2,100 yards after contact. Because he's powerful, and then he's also got like this build-up speed. Like once he's past the second level into like the third level where the safeties are at, it's hard to catch up to him. And plus, it's a business decision because he is rumbling. Then we get to the draft. Due to the ankle injury, we weren't able to test much, so we fall in the draft to the 4th round, where really talent-wise, we probably should have went a round or 2 earlier. But 235 pounds, 6'1", we did go through the drills at the combine, and we looked very good doing that. And then in training camp, we start to go off every single day. I did some videos on it. We covered the highlights from training camp. He was looking good between the tackles, getting used in the passing game. He was looking at electric. And then we get to preseason. In week 2, one thing really stood out. By halftime, week 2 of preseason, and just a few snaps, Braelon Allen ran 11 routes getting used in the passing game. What does that tell you? That if Breece Hall goes down, they're going to still want to use Braelon Allen in the passing game, get him those opportunities. And we saw that last week. That rang true. So they're going to use him in the passing game if he ever gets the opportunity to be the lead back. Breece Hall is the guy in this backfield. But honestly, you cut out Breece Hall and Braelon Allen, Izzy Abanikanda and Isaiah Davis. They're better than some backfields in the NFL. Not many of them, but they are better than some backfields in the NFL. Breece Hall and Braelon Allen, though, talent for days. This is the most stacked backfield in the NFL. Braelon Allen would be the starting running back for a lot of teams right now. Dallas should have drafted Braelon Allen straight up. I'm not going to lie about that. But Braelon Allen backing up Breece Hall, sharing the workload with Breece Hall, is just an embarrassment of riches right now for the Jets because Breece Hall is a stud. We got 4.3 speed. We got size. We're electric. We got that juice. We can catch the ball in the backfield. He's one of the top running backs in the league, as you know. If you want to see last week's touches against the Titans, I got them on my Twitter. You can see them there. I got all of them. But one thing that stands out is once he finds that crease, that spot in the open field, tough to tackle, business decision. there were 2 runs where a gang of Titans could not get him down. One, he spun out into the sideline. The other one, they had just had to call to play dead, and he just wasn't going to go down. And then on top of that, they were getting him working the passing game, like I said. And the thing is, they were trying to get him the ball in space. You get him the ball in space and allow him a few yards to build up a little bit of that speed. He's not a fast back, of course, because he's a bigger running back. But if he just has a little bit of build up and he gets going, tough to bring down. And he is going to get you yards after contact like we saw at Wisconsin. And you're looking at the workload here. It's the Breece Hall show. Braelon Allen is a great handcuff, and he's also like a prayer running back that you put in your lineup that you hope gets a touchdown here and there. He's going to get goal line looks from here and there. He's going to get opportunity in the red zone. Maybe he catches a check down and brings it to the house, something like that. You're not going to trust him in fantasy right now, but he is a priority handcuff. You're looking at the rushing attempts. He's got 8 on the season, 41 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. Looking solid there. We got a 13% opportunity share. You see in the bottom right. We got a 19% share of the team rushing attempts. That's very good considering when you're on your field, you're getting work. And also when he's on the field, he's running routes. He's ran 12 routes on the season. He's averaging 6 routes per game. 18.8% route participation rate, which is very good for a backup running back. On top of that, he's ran 12 routes, but got targeted 5 times on those 12 routes. So when he's out there, they're getting him the ball. They are getting him the ball. They are looking his way. And then yards after contact in the NFL right now, 4.63 yards after contact per attempt. 37 racked up so far. And we got 1 run of 10 plus yards. And then in the passing game, 12.3 yards after the catch per reception. What this tells us is if he gets the ball in space, if he sees daylight, he's going to break off some yards. Especially in the passing game, you throw it to him in the flat, he's going to churn out extra yards because if he builds up speed off of 1 or 2 yards that's in front of him, those DBs are going to have to rack up a tackle somehow, and it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. He's going to smash through them. You got to gang tackle him. Next thing you know is a few extra yards downfield. That's what Braelon Allen's going to do to you. He's not going to zip by you with speed. He's just not going to do that. But he's going to barrel through you. And the Jets want to mix it up. They want to throw the ball a little bit. They want to throw it to the running backs. Pace of play is all right. We've been in some weird game scripts, though, so you need more games to really get a better average on this. But you don't want them. Your bench is stacked. Your team is stacked. However, I look at him as a priority stash right now. I look at him as a top-tier handcuff. If Breece goes down, he's going to get a lot of work. He's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to be using the passing game more than what anybody would have thought in the preseason or during draft season when people thought he was just going to be a banger back up the gut. He's going to be getting opportunities like Breece Hall, but it would be different because he's not as explosive. But he's going to get opportunities here and there behind Breece Hall, around the goal line, getting some work. You can't really start him with confidence. Maybe if you want to take a gamble, maybe if you want to do that, if he crosses the goal line. But he's a great stash. Probably one of the best stashes in all of fantasy football. Probably one of the best handcuff backs of all of fantasy football. When you look at the waiver wire right now at running back, the most talented running back probably on your waiver wire right now, especially when you compare him to those Chiefs running backs, who's in a grand situation, but his situation's just as grand if Breece Hall goes down because he's going to be using the passing game and he's going to be used between the tackles. This team's going to move the ball efficiently. It's going to be a little slower paced team due to Aaron Rodgers. He likes to make sure things are set before he runs the play. However, this is a great situation for him. I look for him as a priority stash. I want him on the end of my bench as one of those running backs, one of those few running backs that have a lot of upside in a great situation that if they do get that opportunity, could go off and be a league winner for you. Hopefully, Breece Hall stays healthy. I like him. I think he's a good player. But again, Braelon Allen has that upside. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.